We don't like the weakness. We don't like the vulnerability that Kamala Harris has exposed this nation to. The entire world knows that she helped cover up Joe Biden's mental incapacity and decline over the last 3.5 years. It's the biggest scandal, maybe in the history of this country. For 3.5 years, our country has been saddled with a president who cannot do the job. Now, we all see it, and we all watched it, and it's hard not to feel sad for him, but you got to feel sadder for the country that has suffered under that leadership. But America's adversaries have been licking their chops, because imagine if we saw it for 3.5 years in public, how bad was it in private? And every single Democrat in leadership, including Kamala Harris, they covered up for Biden's incompetence. And if you're too dumb to realize that Biden couldn't do the job, or more likely, if you're too dishonest to admit it, you are not fit to be commander-in-chief. And after 14 million Democrats voted for Joe Biden in the primary, now the Democrat Party bosses believed his poll numbers were too bad, and they're going to install Kamala Harris as their new nominee, a person who has not received a single vote for president. And the media calls it a coronation. I think we ought to call it a coup. In America, we don't crown our leaders, we vote for them. And remember, in the 2020 primary, Kamala Harris dropped out before the first vote was cast. She was so unpopular that she polled in the low single digits, even among Democrats, her entire campaign. She didn't get in the top 3 in her home state of California. And the reason is, Democrat voters know that the American people would never elect a San Francisco liberal so far outside the mainstream. And I think we ought to give the Democrats credit where it's due. The American people will never elect a wacky, out-of-touch liberal like Kamala Harris. We're just not going to do it. $500,000 kids. This is the toll of her leadership. Cartels because of her policies, and she calls us disloyal. Hundreds of thousands of our citizens are dead from fentanyl overdoses because of her policies. Hardworking Americans cannot afford groceries because of her policies. And my question to the American people is, do you want a president who is disloyal to this country, or do you want somebody who is willing to take a bullet for it? I think we want the guy who is willing to take a bullet for it. So let me ask you, do we want open borders? Do we want to bankrupt Medicare by giving it to illegal aliens? Do we want to defund the police? Do you want to ban fracking? So do we want a dangerous liberal like Kamala Harris? I'd say hell no. Instead, in just a few months, Nevada is going to lead a great American restoration of American strength, American prosperity, and American sanity. It's going to start right here. We're going to elect Donald Trump. God bless you all. God bless America. And God bless the great state of Nevada. We love you all.